Yo, what is up, guys? It's Pedro here. Today, I'm going to be doing a player breakdown of Keith Ismael and why I think he can be a starting center for the Redskins in the future. And I'm also going to be going over some film. If you guys are new, subscribe for Redskins and NFL content. So let's get right into it. As you guys all know, the Redskins drafted Keith Ismael in the fifth round last year with the pick that they got for the Redskins, and they got an additional third round pick for Trent Williams. But that's besides the point. He is 6'3", about 311 pounds, and like I said, played at San Diego State last year. So not amazing competition, but also some decent competition. He mainly plays center, but can play left guard and right guard, but preferably right guard if he were to play any of the guard positions. He started at right guard and center in his career at San Diego State. I'm going to be going over some pros and cons and talking about his character, and then we are going to go over to some film in the later half of the video. But he started 37 games in 3 years at San Diego State. 27 of those 37 games were at center, and 10 of the games were at right guard. So, like I said, positional versatility, which is a huge plus, which is probably why the Redskins drafted him because Ron Rivera loves positional versatility. If you look at their draft picks, Antonio Gibson plays running back and receiver. Obviously, Keith Ismael plays two positions on the offensive line. Kaliki Hudson plays safety and linebacker, and same with some other players they drafted. So he loves positional versatility, and I think he will be used this year. Keith Ismael will be used this year um, as a backup and maybe to groom him into a starter because, as you guys all know, Chase Roulier is going to be a free agent after this year. So if we're not comfortable paying what Chase Roulier wants, we might have a plan in place to have Keith Ismael as our starting center, but that would require some development this year. We also have Ross Pierschbaker. But I think so. Going over some strengths for Keith Ismael, he has very good footwork for a center, pretty fast feet, quick feet. He's also a really good pull blocker and lead blocker, which is good for the run game. Um, like I said, started 37 games. Uh, he's pretty mobile, nothing special, but he also has very high football IQ, which is very, very important on the offensive line, but more importantly, at the center position. So that's great news. And he also, I mean, this isn't necessarily a huge pro, but he trained with Sadiq Charles this before the draft in a pre-draft process, which is good to build up the chemistry. Some cons, some things that he needs to work on. He needs to get stronger, but that's almost with every uh, draft prospect that's coming in that's an offensive lineman. They all have to get stronger, especially um, interior offensive linemen. He does need to get a little more stronger than most, but just like Sadiq Charles, he just needs to get a bit stronger. So I think that comes with almost every single offensive lineman, but he doesn't, like I said, needs to get stronger, especially to get some more core strength. And then the other con was he had a shoulder injury, which required shoulder surgery. That's a little bit of a concern. But besides that, he doesn't have many cons. He doesn't excel necessarily in too many aspects of the game, but he also doesn't have too many weaknesses, which is also good. So yeah, now we're gonna go on to some film of Keith Ismael. So yeah. Okay, so we're gonna watch some film of him against Wyoming. He is number 60. It is gonna be a little hard to see, but he is the center, so that's gonna make it a little easier. Right where my mouse is, you're gonna want to watch that the next couple of minutes when I'm talking about him. And yeah, we're just gonna watch him slowly, see how he's doing, and I'm also gonna show a Senior Bowl rep, which was a lot more. It was a one-on-one, so you can see a lot more. But here you see him against Wyoming, not a great team. But you see there, um, kind of gets kind of loses his ground right there, but does enough to protect his quarterback. If you see it again, he starts out pretty good, getting his feet, moving his feet around, but then stumbles a bit, kind of gets a little outmuscled, um, doesn't get bodied, but does get a little outmuscled there. but then regains his balance and is able to stop the pass rusher, but it did cause his quarterback to move a bit, which caused him to hurry. But yeah, that's something he does need to work on, but that wasn't a terrible rep right there. See him again right here. Right there, that's a pretty good rep. Um, the guy who he was blocking got him, and it was a nice gain right there, about 8-yard gain rushing. So not a bad. Like I said, he's a pretty good run blocker. I think is a little better. He's a little better of a run blocker than a pass blocker. Right there, nothing much right there. He was responsible for two different guys, and he let the quarterback get a throw off. Not a great one, but here you see again, gets on the ground and gets a nice gain. See that again. Goes very quickly here, and it's very hard to see, but he, yeah, he does decent. And the guy who we ended up blocking is right here. He's not the one who ends up making a tackle, so he did fine there. You see him right here. This is a better view. Nothing much. Did enough to where his guy didn't have enough time to get the tackler, and he's also on the opposite side of the field. Here, he's lining up, and they run the ball, and we'll watch it again real quick. See, the guy kind of gets past him. The guy gets past him, this guy right here, and ends up almost coming in and tackling him, but he does not end up tackling him. So this is a good run blocking. Guy almost gets behind him, but he ends up making a good block right there. So I'm going to be showing right here. I don't want to go too much. I might leave this video in the description for you guys to watch. But right here, this is a bad rep by Keith Ismael. Right here, he kind of gets over eager and lets the pass rusher get right by him for a tackle for loss, which is not a good thing to do. He kind of gets over eager and gets him on the wrong side right there, and he's responsible for a loss right there. But I like him. He's a good, strong, at least at the college level, pretty strong guy, and I think that he can end up being a good center in this league. Here's a very, very, very good rep by him in the Senior Bowl, and of course, this is against really, really good talent, and because all these guys, or at least most of these guys, are going to the NFL, and a lot of them, top round picks, second, third round picks. So right here, you see him going against right here. He's snapping the ball. You see, I mean, all centers do this, but it's crazy how fast he got his feet up once, or how fast he got up. But you see the strength right there. Literally, the DN gets, or the defensive tackle gets nowhere, nowhere. You see, he gets completely dominated right there. You see another view right here. It's almost, just watch how quick he gets up. He does it better than most centers I've watched. Right before the pass rusher could even get to him, he was up, and um, I think he's a very good player. I don't know if he's gonna get a chance to start this year at all, because we have so many guys that are backups that can end up playing center or guard. You got Ross Bierschbaker, who can play center, preferably center, but can also play guard. You got Schweitzer, who's played guard or has played center in his career, but also can play guard. And you got Wes Martin, Jeremy Vujanovic, Mike Ledke. So there's not really much room for him on the offensive line. But if he is progressing and if he is doing good, I think he could definitely end up getting a shot to play this year. And I want to go through some things that JP Finlay said about Keith Ismael. Sorry about that. So JP Finlay said, new Redskins O-lineman Keith Ismael says virtual meetings have been going well overall, and he's just excited to be in the NFL, as he will be in the meeting room with the veteran players this week. That's expected. He says he's one of the most versatile offensive linemen in the 2020 draft class, and of course, Ron Rivera is gonna love that. And like I said earlier, Keith Ismael and Sadiq Charles trained together during the pre-draft process. So this pick overall, I've grown on it a lot. I actually am starting to like this pick, and I think Keith Ismael can turn it into a good starter. If you look at his draft grade, it is a 6.1, so good backup who could become starter. So I think if they do the right things and develop him this year, I do think that he can end up being a starter for us if Chase Roulier ends up leaving. And if not, we'll get us a really, really good backup, which is very important at the offensive line position because you never know when one of your players are going to go down. Like Brandon Sheriff, the last 2 years has been out because of an injury at the end of the season. So let me know what you guys think about Keith Ismael. We went over some film, nothing great. Of course, I'm not a film expert, so don't um, flame me too much in the comments below. But let me know what you guys think about Keith Ismael, what you guys think he can do in the NFL, and give me some other video ideas or players you think I should break down next. Also, if you guys can, join my channel memberships. Link will be in the description below. And thank you guys for all the support lately. Peace.